Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of EuroStep live on YouTube and on EuroLeague TV. First of all, sorry for keeping you waiting. We had some technical issues that have been fixed, obviously, but those are the things that happen with life. Anything can happen, but show must go on. And we are here. I'm here with my co-host and resident expert, Dane Arlauckas.
Hey, Sofia, it was worth the wait. So good to see you again.
Exactly. It was worth the wait because she's been with us on another shows, and we couldn't think of a better guest to be with us in our last EuroStep show before we go to Belgrade. Welcome back, Mahal De La Durante, the originals reported. I think I think we can't hear Mahal, but it's all good. I'm sure. Oh, hello.
Doesn't matter how many Zoom meetings you have, this will always happen. But I'm very excited to see you both in Belgrade. Yes.
Yes, that's gonna happen next week. But before we have a show ahead. We have 30 minutes where we're gonna be talking about what happened last week in the last two games of the playoff series and what we can expect from the final for next week. Because we're talking about next week. So guys, send us your questions, send us your comments, send us the love that you have used us to, and we're going to be reading the best of them out. Also, we have a very special EuroLeague discount to offer to you with the code WATCHALON10. Write down. You can enjoy a 10% off on a monthly or annual pass on EuroLeague, except if you are on Italy in Spain. So if you're somewhere else, start using it and you can start enjoying all the advantages that EuroLeague has to offer you. We have a comment already in YouTube from Greece, Athens. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone from
You know
us, and
that's
we'll
you know
see you.
you know that's an Olympiacos fan. He just wants to hear what we got to say
Uh,
about them getting to the Final Four.
Exactly. We're gonna be seeing them next week in Belgrade, so I'm really excited for that. But let's talk about what happened last week, specifically with Olympiacos and Barcelona, because the last two games of this season playoff series have been finished, and we already have the spot secure for the Final Four, and those sports are for Barcelona, Real Madrid, who got their ticket, and the third game we have Olympiacos that needed a game 5, and Anadolu Efes that secured their spot in game 4. But before we move on to what we can expect next week in the Final Four, I want to take a look back and talk about what happened last week in these final games of the playoff series. First game, we're going to be talking about Barcelona and Bayern de Munich. Barcelona suffered a little bit at the beginning in the first half. We can say that the first half ended with the Germans being ahead of the game, but in the second half, they brought it back. Barcelona brought it back in their home court with amazing performances from La Provitola, from Nikola Mirotic, and finally winning it and making it to the Final Four with a win of 81-72. Dane, and then Mahal, I want to know your opinion. Do you think that they were showing a championship winning potential?
Well, in Game 5, no, I don't think so, and I don't think they really have in the entire postseason. This is a Barcelona team. We know who they are. They're the most talented team. They're the deepest team. They've been the favorites all year long. But what they've shown over the last 5 games against Bayern Munich has really thrown a shade of doubt into their favoritism here, where this Barcelona side right now, they don't look as confident. They don't look as sure shot to win it all in Belgrade this year. And really, honestly, they're very lucky to be in Belgrade because Bayern Munich gave them all that they could handle. And really, they needed a great second half to get through to the Final Four because Trinchieri and Bayern Munich, bravo to them. They did an amazing job as an 8th seed. Really didn't even look like a playoff team a couple months ago, and they squeaked into the playoffs, and they gave the Barcelona team everything they could handle. And credit to them because they might have given some of the other teams in the Final Four a key to success against Barcelona. This is a team that's finesse. They like to score. They like to be pretty. They like to be flashy. And if you beat them up, if you rough them up a little bit, it ruffles their feathers. And I really do think that Real Madrid in the semifinal, and whoever they might play, if they get to the final, they'll take notes of this, because this Barcelona team, they got rattled. And once you beat them up, then you really can throw them out of their game. Once you stop Calafis from running up and down the floor, Mirotic from getting all the shots he wants, this isn't the same team. And Bayern showed that, especially in Game 4 when they held them to a record low in EuroLeague points total. So, Mahal, I know this is a team that's been such a favorite all year long, but I got to say I don't see them as that much of a favorite going in, and that championship potential has been questioned here.
I mean, I can definitely see where you're going. To be fair, I did not think this was going to a Game 5 at all. I think Barca was going to snatch this series in the Game 4 with this low-scoring game. I mean, watching it, I saw a source that said Keurig and Davies were feeling sick earlier that morning, and knowing that and seeing Bayern be up in the half, I was definitely worried and ready for Barca to flip that switch. Do I see them having championship winning potential? Absolutely. I mean, it's called a safe bet for a reason. That said, this last game was not it. I did see a very professional second half, though, with an outstanding shooting performance by Barca. I think they went 7 for 11 from the three-point line. Abrinas got up 2. Lapovitola absolutely dominated, scoring a bunch of other threes. And so, yeah, they got it together in the end. I'm just hoping that they bring it to the one-and-done games in the Final Four.
Yeah, you know what, La Provitola, he's a gamer. Against Madrid, his old team, in the Wissing Center earlier in the season, he had 13 points in the first quarter, 20 points in the game, and then in the biggest game of his career, he scores 26, a career high in points and PIR in 30 that game against Bayern Munich. So this guy shows up, and we talk about the depth. We talk about the off-season movements and mid-season movements and transactions of players brought into Barcelona. We can talk about Mirotic. We can talk about Calafis. But really, if Barca goes on to win this, you got to applaud the front offices, because they've done a great job constructing this team. And you know, Saras at halftime, he gathered that crew and he got his hands on them, not literally, but metaphorically, and he got them ready to play. And hey, he did it so well that now it's Barcelona in the semifinals, going on to play Real Madrid, who only played 3 games after sweeping Maccabi, and Barcelona having to play a long, drawn-out 5-game series. Sofia, I want to know, is there an advantage for Real Madrid having played less games going into the Final Four?
Well, obviously, we need to talk about a physical advantage in terms of being more fresh arriving to this Final Four. But also, I wouldn't focus so much on the physical side, but more on the psychological side, because we were definitely not expecting Barcelona to need a Game 5 to make it to the Final Four. Definitely not the tight games that we witnessed in this playoff series, and definitely either expecting Real Madrid to win in a Game 3 after the end of the season that they had. So I think they're in disadvantage in terms of how people are looking at them, in terms of how their attitude maybe towards this game. And I gotta tell you guys, I've talked to a lot of people, to a lot of basketball fans and Real Madrid fans, and also Barcelona's fans, and they've all told me the same thing, which is that Real Madrid is gonna take this semifinal. Why? Because we know that Barcelona has won every time that they've played against them this season. Actually, the last time Real Madrid won, I think, was November 2019. But they all are saying that Real Madrid right now is in the perfect spot to make that move forward, to be this time where they need to win, because it's just one game to advance to the big final, to the big final of the best competition in the continent. So they're going to fight hard. Last time they played, it was very tight in Wissing Center. So I think it's going to be the tightest game of the semifinal. What do you think, Mahal?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the tone that Dane was talking about a few weeks back about, this idea of balance. Barca's won so many times, Madrid has to win to even out the whatever. No, the facts are here. Listen, Barca knows how to own them at this point. So, and I'm not saying that, surprises can't happen in the Final Four. That's what makes them so exciting. Are they going into this Final Four at a disadvantage? Part of me wants to say yes, because rest is always nice for Madrid, but a lot of me says no. I mean, who wants to take a whole month off and then have to play like a win or die game? Like, that's a lot of pressure, and you're trying to go hard, but you don't want to get anyone injured. I think Barca is going to come with the players that are healthy. They're going to be in their rhythm, and they're going to do what they need to do. Unfortunately, Exum got an injury in this last game 5, so he may be out. That said, Higgins is back in, so you've kind of got this switch of a combo guard coming, but it balanced out, and I think that they're ready, and they're going to do what they need to do.
One thing is for sure, that we can expect anything from basketball, and definitely in such important games as the Final Four, because it's just one game and anything can happen in sports. Next is talking about the game 5 between Olympiacos and AS Monaco, who got the final finalists that will make it to the Final Four in Belgrade. It was a big game. It was tight. It was wild, but definitely Olympiacos took it, even though AS Monaco was dominating much more time during the game. But at the end, Olympiacos took it with help from Kostas Lukas. The final result was 94-88. I want to know, Dane and then Mahal, do you think this was one of the best games of the season? Oh, we also have a tweet from Bogdan Bogdanovic, former Fenerbahce player, saying that Kostas Lukas clutch forever, and that was an amazing game to watch. So I want to know, guys, your opinion. Do you agree with Bogdanovic?
Yeah, Kostas giving it up to his former Fenerbahce teammate. He knows what a winner Kostas is. Bogdan, he's a fantastic player in his own right. And watching the game from overseas, maybe he might just be in Serbia. I'm not sure where Bogdan is right now after his season just ended. But what a game this was, and what a treat it was. Game 5s, this is what you expect Game 5s to be, isn't it? Tight to the end, plenty of passion. You have no idea what the next move is. And really, Olympiacos, they looked like they were struggling. They looked like they were reeling, because Monaco had an answer for everything that Olympiacos was throwing at them. Every big bucket that Olympiacos had, where you said, okay, finally, this is going to be what sparks a little run, and they're going to get back into the game. Monaco would shut the door on that run and silence the crowd, which isn't an easy thing to do. It's probably one of the toughest things to do in the EuroLeague, is go into there and silence that crowd. But towards the second half of that game, second quarter into the third quarter, they needed something extraordinary. They needed something that was going to lift that team up, and they got it from a guy who's averaging 6 points a game, and Thomas Walkup. Walkup's a fantastic player. His numbers haven't really showed it this year, but Walkup has game-changing ability. He was just saving the best for last, and that last game, the game 5, was incredible, because he was doing it defensively, offensively, on the rebounding end. He was grabbing rebounds. He was dishing out the ball. He changed the game for Olympiacos. And we always talk about Slukas. We talk about Vezenkov. We talk about all these guys, Shaquille McKissick. But really, we talk about depth for teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid. Olympiacos is saying, hey, we got the same sort of depth where you can get any player from 1 to 10 down our bench, and they can have this sort of game. So Walkup delivered, and then it was Slukas who took the reins in the fourth quarter and held off Monaco. What an atmosphere it was, too. It was just an insane surroundings of the fans going nuts, and it was exactly what you want a Game 5 to be. And the best game of the season was in the last playoff game of the postseason. And Mahal, I know you loved Monaco. It must have been a little heartbreaking for you to see your boys go down, but what a game it was.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody knows I've been repping Monaco, and I was totally shocked about the outcome of it. Especially, I was on my way home. I think I was telling you guys this. I was on my way home rollerblading, watching this game. Like, it was that important and exciting. It was fun. I made it. But no, Monaco did an amazing job setting the tone of that game. And then, yeah, like you said, unfortunately, Thomas Walker came out, helping out its teammates like Dorsey, who are carrying the team on a regular basis. So, but you made it sound a lot more dramatic than it actually is. I mean, I remember hearing Thomas Walker's name at the beginning when he was first coming onto this team. There was a lot of noise about what he was bringing exactly, and I think he did just that. He had an assignment to do throughout this season. He did it. Yeah, he was averaging a lower amount of points, but that's part of the game. He was still playing every single game. I think maybe he missed one. I don't know. And then he comes out in a time that's needed, and he beats my Monaco team. Unfortunate, but it was an amazing one to watch.
Yeah, it was an amazing one to watch, and there were some big-time stars around the Peace and Friendship Arena. You got guys, sports stars and entertainment stars. Kevin Durant, one of the best ball players in the entire world. Speaking of best ball players, Vasilis Spanoulis. And then Emma Stone making the appearance, too. Look at Emma Stone. I had no idea she was a ball fan. She was a basketball fan. But I mean, could they have chosen a better game, Sofia, to go to than that one right there?
Oh my God, I wish I was there. I would have loved to be there. They're invited to come to the Final Four in Belgrade if they want. I think they're going to have as much fun as I'm sure they did in the Peace and Friendship Stadium. I think they choose the right game. For me, this playoff series has been the tightest one, the most impacting, and probably one of the most exciting ones to watch. And yeah, the game between Olympiacos and AS Monaco, both teams have been so even in all aspects that we couldn't decide on who was going to make it farther. Also, before the playoff started, we were talking about how we all expected Olympiacos to kind of have that advantage in terms of having, like you said, Dane, all the players ready to play at any time and not just one guy that stands up, as it was the case of AS Monaco. But with this playoff series, I think we have realized of the potential that AS Monaco will bring into the competition next year. And I'm sure that we will see them in a Final Four very soon. But definitely, I think it was wild in the stadium. And again, I wish I was there. But get ready, because we're gonna be living something similar next week. What do you think, Mahal?
Yeah, I mean, this game of all the games to go to was definitely one of them. Like, increase the arena size, and absolutely, that is the perfect EuroLeague game to go to. You have a team like Monaco who is new, it just shows kind of the youthfulness and capacity for strategy in EuroLeague. And then you have a vet team, one that's coming from a lot of tradition. And yeah, so you have these two teams coming to give you a show. And so, yeah, I really wish I was there along with you, Sofia.
Yeah, but next week, again, we're going to be in Belgrade enjoying the best basketball of the continent. Everyone watching, we want to know your opinions. We want to know, who do you think will go through the semifinals, and who do you think will take the most precious trophy in Europe? So all eyes right now, all teams are looking ahead to the Final Four, which will take place next week in the beautiful city of Belgrade.
It's our time to go claim what we've been chasing and win a championship.
You're working for times like this.
This really is fairy tale stuff. And a Anadolu Efes Istanbul fulfill their championship destiny.
In a little bit over a week, like I said, we're going to be in Belgrade enjoying the best basketball of the continent. We're going to be witnessing another Final Four, and this is how the semifinals matchup are looking. We're going to see El Clásico matchup, Real Madrid and Barcelona facing each other in the first semifinal, and of course, Greece against Turkey. I think one of the toughest and best matchups in the in all the history and alongside EuroLeague. Guys, I want to know your opinion. Dane, I'm gonna start with you, and then I'm gonna go to Mahal. What do you think about these games? How tough will they be?
Well, it's really a dream scenario for the EuroLeague, because in one bracket you got the Clásico, the Derby, the Spanish rivals, the eternal enemies. And then on the other one, you've got a legendary club like Olympiacos going up against the young guns who, you know what? They won it last year. They were the favorites to win it the year before that, before everything kind of got messed up. But yeah, this is a team that really, they were the top team in 2020 before the season got canceled. Then we see them win it again. So we're talking about really one of the top teams, the top team over the last 2 years, and they got a chance to go back to back. So the blend of teams that we have in the Final Four is incredible. The games are going to be insane. I mean, they're going to be so intense. Obviously, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they know each other so well. Efes and Olympiacos, that's an even series. They've played each other 44 times. They've got 22 wins and 22 wins apiece. This year, one win apiece. It couldn't be any more even. I mean, you look at these two teams, and I think it comes down to, in the Efes Olympiacos game, it's going to come down to experience. Olympiacos is a young team who hasn't been to the Final Four in 5 years. Efes knows how to be that. Efes knows this stage. They proved last year that they are ready for this stage. They're ready to win, not just the Final Four, the semifinal. They're ready to move on to the final and win it for back-to-back times. You know, Coach Ottoman is thinking, all right, he's not thinking about this one. He's thinking about lifting the trophy at the end of the weekend, next weekend. But really, the experience is going to come down and play key. Olympiacos, they've got to bring it from the very first moment. I know there's going to be a lot of people from Greece there, and they're going to have basically a home court advantage in Belgrade. But for the Real Madrid game, the Barcelona-Real Madrid, Barca's had Madrid's number for, you remember COVID, how long ago that seems? Barcelona, the last time that they lost to Real Madrid was even before COVID. So we're talking about a streak that has gone on for years and years and years. Real Madrid will be thinking streaks are made to be broken, and they'll be hoping they waited for the right time in the Final Four. But this is a game, this is a team, Real Madrid, they've been playing so well over the last couple of days after stumbling into the playoffs, while Barcelona is kind of on the other end of that spectrum where they have not been playing too well. They got to the Final Four. They did what they needed to do. It took them a few games longer than it should have, perhaps, in the mind of Barcelona fans. But Mahal, this is going to be a Final Four, an epic Final Four.
Oh, absolutely. And we've seen this matchup. We've gotten excited about matchup. In fact, I saw you at one of the El Clásicos. So, but, you know, as much as fingers are crossed for Real Madrid, look at the facts. I mean, they've matched up a few major times this season, and Barca's got it every single time, whether that was in December, where they won by 13, whether that was February, where they won by 18, or whether that was Copa del Rey, where they won by 5, but still, they got it, okay? So this matchup is now coming again. Do I think they have it? Yes. Are surprises inevitable? Yes, but I don't think, you know, matchups aside, stats aside, they have the proof. Barca's been shuffling players around with Higgins and Abrines, but I don't think that will change the pace at which they're coming to this game with.
Well, I mean, the excitement is there. The anticipation is there. We all know it's been 3 years since we've had fans at the Final Four, and obviously it's going to be sold out in Belgrade. 45% of the spectators are coming from Greece. Can you imagine? I mean, that's going to be a ruckus stadium at the Stark Arena. And, I mean, Sofia, the atmosphere, what can we expect? What can we expect in Belgrade? And what are the people? Just sell this Final Four to me in terms of a fan experience.
I think that it's very important to remind what you said, that it's been almost like 3 years that we don't see audience in a stadium. And a Final Four in Belgrade, one of the most traditional basketball cities in the world. And we also have, above all that, in spite of all that, we have Olympiacos, with the Greeks fan that are one of the biggest and the best audiences and the best fan base of basketball around Europe, and Efes with the Turks, which is basically the same, and they sold out. I think it was game 3 when they played in Istanbul against Milan. They sold out the stadium even before they knew the date and they knew their opponent. So I think that what we can expect is a healthy, fun, and above all, exciting. And I think it's gonna be obviously kind of in like we're not gonna know what will happen till the very end, but it's gonna be really exciting to see the fans back again in the stadium and to see especially that unconditional love that the Greeks have for their team, especially being back in a Final Four since 2017. What do you think, Mahal?
No, absolutely. I think you have it right. Like last year I was there were no fans. I was jumping up and down, looking totally ridiculous. Thousands of seats empty behind me. This year, can't do that. But I'm very excited to enjoy the energy with everyone there. And I hope that Olympiacos fans or Greece's fans can help cheer them into the finals.
Yeah, one thing is for sure, we're going to have fun, and it's gonna be exciting till the end, because you never know what can happen with basketball, and especially in the Final Four where you just have one game. Another thing that will be happening in Belgrade during this Final Four will be the Final Four Awards, where some awards will be given to the players of the EuroLeague for their amazing work throughout the season. And we have the Alfonso 4 Award, which recognizes the top scorer award of the season. And fans and media have decided that this award is going to Vasilije Micic from Anadolu Efes. They now want to know, what do you think about this and how important he has been for his team?
Well, it's just incredible that he follows up an MVP season with a Alfonso Ford Trophy season where he's the top scorer, and it wasn't like he squeaked by anyone. He won this by a large margin. 1.5 points over Mirotic, who is at 16.5 a game. So, I mean, this is a guy who's been so important to his team. We all know how flat Efes came out to start this season after winning that title, but he was really the constant. He was always there, always scoring, always showing up for this team, and he started like this and ended even stronger. I mean, you look into what he did at the end of the season, into the postseason. Against Milan, he averaged the exact same points that he averaged all season long. He had 20 in the last 2 games. He had 16 in game 1 and 18 in game 2. So he's always reliable, always dependable. And what he does isn't just points per game. It's not just on the stat sheet. He's so effective on the offensive end that he has the ability to close down defenses. And you would think, between him and Larkin, there's not enough basketballs on the court for each one of them to get their points. That's not the case, though, because these two feed off of each other. They know that when somebody's hot and somebody's scoring or going to the rack, that's going to leave the other guy wide open on the other end. So Larkin, Micic, they feed off of each other, and it's just so much fun to look at these guys and see how each one of them build each other up. And I'll tell you what, Olympiacos has their work cut out for them in the Final Four, because Micic is an MVP. He's already proven that. He's a champion. He's a top scorer in the league. How do you stop these guys if you're Olympiacos? But they could use some work or some help from the defensive player of the year, and Mahal. That was just announced, as well as Micic being the top scorer. It's going to Kyle Hines. The EuroLeague head coaches have tipped him as the defensive player for the third time in his career. How impressive is he as a player, as a defender, and as a basketball player?
I mean, I feel like I've talked about him several times now, and am honored to have even met him before. He is an outstanding player, well respected amongst his teammates and the coaches, evidently. Winning this award not just once, but 3 times over your career is quite an accomplishment, whether that's coming from your stats, hustle stats, like I've talked about before, like your offensive boards or blocks, etc. Like just locking down, especially at his age. I think he's the oldest one to receive this award at 35. And with such great competition as well. I mean, Tavares has won this award before, and I think he came in second for this. So anyway, it's nice to see him getting this recognition for an outstanding season. And I hope there's many more to come.
I'm sure there is, and I hope that we can still enjoy his basketball. We're gonna see this next week in Belgrade, Final Four awards, amazing games, and obviously who will take the most precious trophy in Europe. Guys, it's been a pleasure to talk this last show before the big event, before the big Final Four. Dane, thank you so much, and Mahal, thank you so much for joining on our last EuroStep show of the season just before the Final Four. I'll see you all next week in Belgrade, and everyone watching, for all the EuroStep videos on demand, you can find them on YouTube and on EuroLeague TV. And next week we're going to be live from Belgrade, and we're gonna have multiple EuroStep shows, so stay tuned to find out all the information about time and where you can watch it. Also, for more EuroLeague content, don't forget to visit social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever works best for you. And also, we want to recognize your fidelity with a discount code WATCHALONG10 that you can use to get a 10% off on a monthly or annual pass on EuroLeague TV, except if you are on Italy and Spain. So start using it as soon as you can to start enjoying all the advantages that EuroLeague has to offer you. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for your comments, for your love, and we'll see you next week from Belgrade, from the epicenter of basketball, and from the city that will see the new F4 title and champion crowned. Bye-bye.